Hey everyone, Crystal here with Family Life Fitness online training. So for your challenge this week, we're going to focus on working on our squats and lunges. A lot of times people don't lunge or squat correctly and they feel the lunge or squat in their knee joints or even in their quads. So I'm hoping to have you guys focus on working on proper form for your squats and lunges. And also we're going to be doing some release work. Releasing helps to release any of the tension that the muscle might have that is stopping, that is hindering your ability for mobility in your squat or lunge. So releasing is very important, as well as stretching. If your muscle is tense and tight, then you're not going to have much mobility in it. But if we release that tension, then your mobility is going to be better, and you're going to be able to squat and lunge and do any sort of exercise with better movement and hopefully less pain. So I'm just going to show an example of a bad squat, and then from there you're going to follow along with me, and we're going to do some releasing, and then we're going to do some just some squats and lunges, about 12 reps or so, just to get the feeling of how you're supposed to feel and what muscles you're supposed to work when doing these particular exercises. Okay, so I'm just going to first show a bad squat. So a lot of times people will start squatting, they'll bend their knees first. So they'll squat down, bend their knees first, and come up. Most of the weight's on the balls of their feet, and this is how they squat. Okay, so immediately I start feeling my quads take over and my knee joints start to ache. And I'm really not feeling anything in my glutes or my hamstrings. And that's the muscle group that we really want to pay attention to. So that's my bad squat. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do some releasing. So with releasing today, I use it's just a ball. It's a releasing ball that I got from Amazon. However, you can use a ball hockey ball, a tennis ball. A tennis ball will be a little bit softer. This ball is pretty hard. But these balls can be found anywhere. They can be found at Winners, Canadian Tire, any Fitness Depot, Amazon, online. So these are just great to have to do releasing before exercising or after. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the ball. You're going to use, I have my couch here, so I'm going to use my couch with my cat. So we're going to release our piriformis. So that is in your glute area. So that's kind of where your jean pocket would be if you were wearing jeans. And that's the muscle we're going to start releasing. So you're going to take your ball. You're going to sit up to get close to your couch. Bring your feet up to about 90 degrees. Everyone can see me. I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to put it where my jean, as I said, where my jean pocket would be. And this is a muscle that tends to get quite tight and limit your ability to hinge your hips back in a squat. And again, I will show you what a proper squat will look like after we do our releasing. So I'm going to put that ball. Find a sweet spot that you maybe have some tension and it's going to maybe hurt a little bit. Try it, really go on the muscle, not on the sits bone, on the muscle. And then what releasing does is we're just going to let go. So with releasing, we're not working, we're letting go. We're letting go of that muscle, we're relaxing. We want soft rib cage. We want to concentrate on our breathing, have a neutral pelvis to the floor. And every time I breathe in, and I exhale, I'm going to melt over my ball. So I'm going to inhale in, exhale out, and melt over the ball. And if you feel like you need to adjust it to find a good muscle that is quite tense or you feel a lot of tension in, and it's almost going to feel like a toothache. That's the pain that you want to feel. That's how you know that you're on a tense muscle, and we're just going to start to release it. And a lot of the times you'll start feeling the pain subside. And that means that the muscle tension is releasing and you're getting that release work done. So inhale. Good. Exhale. Every time you exhale, melt onto that ball. one analogy or one sort of cue and sort of visual that I like to use that I've heard of is pretending the ball is a strawberry and your body is chocolate melting over the strawberry. One thing that you don't want to feel is numbness. So if you start to feel numbness, adjust the ball. So if you feel numbness in your foot, adjust the ball to a new location. You're probably just on a nerve. Good. We try and do this for about a minute. Inhale and exhale. Good, let's go 3 more. Good, 2. And last one. Good, okay, now we're gonna take that ball onto the other side. Find that tension in your muscle, right where that jean pocket would be. And then just relax the hips, relax the body, and melt over that ball. That ball is a strawberry and we are the chocolate. And we're just going to inhale and exhale. Soften all your joints. Soften all your body parts, so just melt into the floor. Relax the ribs. Have a soft belly. Good, and melt into the ball. And you may need to adjust it. Good. Good job, guys. Let's go 5 more breaths. Breathe it in and exhale. Good, big inhale and exhale. Good, and every time you exhale, melt onto that ball. Good, 2 more. And last one. Good job, guys. Okay, so we're going to slowly get up from this position. So again, that release will help if you have like bum clenching and you feel tension in your glutes. This is a great one to do, after your exercises. Or after your workouts, rather. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to take the ball, we're going to put it in between your bum cheek and your leg. So kind of where your hamstring starts, where your butt cheek tends to fold in. You're going to put all your weight on that ball. And again, melting into the ball, relaxing everything, have a neutral pelvis. Make sure you guys can see me. And this is going to release your hamstring and again, also your glutes. So again, you're going to feel a toothache pain down your hamstring. Now, if you're finding that you don't feel it, you're going to cross the other leg over top to give a little bit more weight onto that leg, onto the leg that's down. And again, just release, relax, melt over the ball. Inhale and exhale. See, I get tense in my arms, so I want to try and relax my arms. And exhale. Good. You might start to feel that toothache subside, meaning that you're getting that releasing. Sometimes if you can hold it as long as you can until you start feeling the pain subside, that's the best way to do releasing. As long as there's no other factors like numbing or anything like that, then you would just adjust the ball. But as long as you feel just that toothache pain and it starts to subside, stay there as long as you can. A minute, maybe a minute and a half. Good, inhale and exhale. Good, let's go for 3 more. Good, 2. And last one. Good, okay, now we're gonna switch, opposite side. One side might be more tense than the other, depending on how your posture is and what side you use more. So again, just sitting onto that ball, Good, you'll feel the toothache pain down your hamstring. Good, and if you need to cross that other leg over, just melt onto the ball. Every time you exhale, put more weight and release your body onto the ball. Good. All right, 3 more breaths. Good, last one. All right, one more releasing that we're going to do. This time we're going to stand. And this one's just going to release the whole body. So we're going to take the ball, we're going to put it under on the floor, and we're going to put our foot right on top of it. And all I'm doing is rolling my foot over the ball. I'm going to stand nice and tall, have a neutral pelvis, and I'm just going to roll the ball under my foot. And this is just going to help to kind of release the whole body. It seems so simple, but a lot of the times, you know, we have a lot of tension on our feet. We grip our feet, you know, especially in a squat, you tend to scrunch your toes, especially when you start getting fatigued. When we get fatigued in certain exercises, our weaker muscles tend to take over, and those are normally smaller muscles. So again, scrunching of the feet when you've been doing squats, maybe you're at rep number 10, you're going on to rep 11, and you start to get fatigued. So other muscles will take over. So again, releasing will help to relax those muscles and help to relieve the tension. Good, okay, now we're gonna switch and do the other foot. Just rolling the ball. This really feels nice. It's like a little foot massage that you're giving to yourself. This is a great one to do at the end of each exercise. So I keep on saying exercise, workout. Good, and standing tall. Good, rolling the ball. Get the balls of the feet. Good. And again, if you want to spend more time doing this, you know, you can spend a good hour releasing. It just really feels good, and it's really great for the body. Exercise is important, but also stretch and release is important for better mobility and less pain after exercise or working out. Because we don't want pain. We want to feel good. We want to work those muscles. We want to bring up our endurance, bring up our strength. So releasing definitely goes hand in hand. Okay, so those are our 3 releasing exercises. So now let's move on to proper squats and lunges. Okay, so when I squat, I want to have my toes facing forward. I want my legs to be pelvis width apart. I'm gonna have my shoulders back, and I'm gonna bring in my navel in and also create separation between my rib cage and my hip bones. So from here, I'm going to lift up through my rib cage, lengthening the muscles, shoulders back and down, chest up, and then retracting my navel in and lifting up. Having a neutral pelvis, I'm going to start my squat by hinging back at the hips. So I hinge back at the hips, and then I'm going to come right back up. This is just going to be a little bit of a warm-up on getting those and learning and practicing how to hinge the hips back. I'm just going to have my arms just out to the side like this. I'm going to hinge back until I feel a stretch in my hamstrings, and then I'm going to use my glutes to come back to start. Hinge back, and then come back to standing. One more time. Hinge back at the hips. See how my back is straight too, it's not curved. My shoulders are back. Come to standing. Okay, now I'm going to hinge back at my hips, and my knees are going to be the last to bend, and I'm going to come up. My weight is mostly in my heels. Although I do have weight on my whole foot, but primarily my heels are grounded. I'm creating tension with the floor. I hinge back at my hips, and then I drive my heels into the floor, and I use my shins, and I almost kind of lift my toes up a little to help me come back to standing. So again, I hinge back, feeling my glutes, my hamstrings, the stretch in there, and then I'm going to push into my heels to come back to standing. Hinge back, and then come up to standing. Hinge back, drive my heels into the floor, lift my toes up just a little bit, feel my shins, the muscles activating to then bring myself back up. I am also going to feel a little bit in my quads. So this is a squat where I'm using all the muscles of my legs. I'm not using my knee joints. I'm not feeling it in my knee joints. I'm not, with the balls of with our knee joints, we tend to grind the knees down. When we're grinding them down, they start to get really sore. This, we want to be activating those muscles. We want to be using our muscles to squat, not our joints. So down and up. Hinge back, down and up. So our muscles are doing the work. Our knees are obviously bending, but they're not taking the grunt of the work. Good. Always think, hinge back at the hips, hinge back, knees are last to bend. Good. Let's do 12 squats. 11. 10. And again, you don't have to go far. If this is as far as you're going to go without transferring the weight forward, then that's how far you go. You're going to gradually build the strength to get down to 90 degrees. I've lost track of counting. Let's go for 6 more. And see how I'm keeping my shoulders back? 5. I don't want to round them forward. I want to keep them back. 3, 2, last one. Good. Okay, now we're going to move on to lunges. So again, I'm going to step back. I'm going to do a reverse lunge, okay? Step back. Again, I'm hinging my hips back, lunge down. My front leg is the one that's driving. I'm driving my heel into the floor. I come back up to standing. I step back, lunge down, drive my heel into the floor, come back up to standing. Now I can stay back here, hinge back at the hips, lunge, drive my heel into the floor, and come back up. More going into like a split lunge, just split squat, I guess we'll call it. So down, drive my heel in. My back leg is still there for support, but mostly I'm working my right glute and hamstring. And again, when I push up, I'm pushing up using my calf muscles and my quads. So again, getting a full leg workout, full lower body workout. Good. Let's do 8 more. 7, 6. Good, hinging back at the hips. 5, 4, and then coming back, bringing my pelvis to neutral. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, let's do the other leg. So again, hinging back at the hips, driving that heel into the floor. Good. 3, 4, 5. Hinge back. 6, 7. Keeping that chest up, shoulders back. We're at 9, 10, 11. Good. Last one. 12. Good. And I will point out, I was talking about our shoulders, our upper body. We don't want to round our shoulders forward. So we don't want to squat like this, okay? I want you to keep your shoulders back in line with your hips and open the chest, because this creates rounded shoulders. We're trying to prevent that. We're trying to open the chest. Good, okay? So when we squat down, I almost bring my arms like a little bicep curl, and then I come up and bring them down. Or you can just hold them here. Sometimes I find movement in the arms feels a little bit more fluid. Good. Okay. Good, so that's your challenge this week. I want you to work on your squats and lunges. Let me know if you have any questions, and actually let me know if you feel success, how you feel after doing them. Do you feel less pain in the knees? Are you transferring your weight back? Do you feel your bum working? We're gonna wake up that bum, wake up those hamstrings. We want a nice round booty, don't we? So I hope that helped, and yeah, keep practicing. Thanks, guys.